We started with a Justin Jefferson highlight. We should have just started with the Vikings first here because they're undefeated. Sam Darnold, people want to doubt him, whatever. Big win, big upset over the Niners. And this is now the second year in a row where Flores just throws something in the direction of Shanahan and just sort of befuddles him a little bit. The Niners scored 17 points in each of the last two games, the last time that they've gone against Minnesota. Am I right about that? What's the deal with Flores v. Shanahan?
I think a lot of it had to do with they got up early on the Niners. When you get up early on the Niners and that Shanahan offense, a little bit of that run game and that play action kind of goes away. They're not as much under center. And when you're not as under center as much, there's not as much stress on the defense. There's not as much run game threat. The ball in the run game can only go certain directions. Yeah, they can run it to both sides of the field, but the ball doesn't hit as quickly downhill. It's more lateral. I understand when they're in the shotgun, the ball takes a little bit longer to get to the second level. So as a backer, I can play pass a little bit more. But what I think he's done a really good job. You showed on that last interception, the effort that those guys play with. That ball got tipped twice, got picked off, and then there was 5 or 6 guys in front blocking, trying to score a touchdown. So I think Brian Flores has a ton of confidence. I think those guys have a really good feel for what he's trying to get accomplished. And he rushes 4. Sometimes it looks like 5. Sometimes he rushes 5 and it looks like 6, but guys are dropping out. Nothing looks the same. He's not afraid to go 0. He's got a ton of confidence in his guys outside, on the outside edge. You bring in Stephon Gilmore, and then you have a really good veteran in the back, Harrison Smith, that they have a ton of confidence with. They just have a really good recipe for it. Number one, they got great coaching. They got guys that can rush the passer, and they went up early in that game. And so then that kind of limits what the Niners are able to do on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Harrison, super unheralded always. It always bothers me. And they're able to get it done, Brian Flores and company. And then, I liked Brock and Flores had like a moment on the field after, I don't know if you saw, where they were like dapping each other up, and Brock goes, "Your schemes are crazy." Like he's just like giving him love, and like Flores obviously wanted nothing to do with it, but loved pointing that out. As far as Christian McCaffrey being out, such a bummer. Big fan, you're a big fan, friend of his. It's at least 4 games. What does that do to this Niners offense? Because there's a lot of, they'll be fine. They just got Mason. And I'm like, I don't know if we can like devalue the effect that Christian McCaffrey has on this squad. What do you think?
I think at some point Christian's going to be back and he's going to be great. So what I think it does in the short term is it makes him a better offense. It makes him an offense that says, hey, if Christian's not in the game, what are we going to do? And it kind of leans itself forward to other options too. If Debo's not in game, what are we going to do? And then when Christian does come back, it's like a little bit of juice in their veins. Now we got one of our best players in the NFL back. So I think they're going to be okay. You look at their roster, it's Kittle, it's Ayuk, and Debo Samuel, and they have one of the best coaches in the NFL, and Kyle Shanahan. So I think they're going to be fine. I think you're going to get a healthy Christian McCaffrey, and you're going to get a juice of energy when he comes back, because I love Christian. I think he's the best running back in the NFL, in the energy and the passion that he plays with when he comes back. Sometimes as the season goes on, it's week 5, it's week 6. And when you're as good of a team as you are as the Niners, I know they lost yesterday, but sometimes the regular season gets boring. Like, man, I'm ready for the playoffs. And when a guy like Christian comes back from being out for a few games, it's just a juice and a burst of energy that gets influxed into your team. And it's just really good. So I think you get Christian the opportunity to get healthy. You get a young guy in there to take some of the snaps from Christian early in the game, early in the season. And then you figure out what's life like without Christian. Let's just get better as a team. And when he does come back, we're going to be that much better.